Hello, friends. My name is Steve, and welcome to Steve Talks Books. Thank you for coming by watching my weekly update. It's where I talk about what I've been reading, what I'm going to read, what I won't get to, and everything else in between. If you'd like to connect with me, the best place is on our forums at pagechewing.com. It's where we can find all the different conversations and plans and other things we're up to over there. I can also be found on Vero at that one MFer. That's where I post most everything I do. I post lots of photos I take, and what I'm watching, listening to, reading, everything else is over there on Vero. So let's go ahead and get into what I've been reading. I did not have an update last week because I was on the road in Virginia for AuthorCon. So this is 2 weeks worth of updates. I'll try to make it condensed to not make it too long. I have been reading Curse of the Mistwraith by Johnny Wirtz. It is the first book in the Wars of Light and Shadow series. We are reading this with a group and discussing it every Sunday. We have, I believe, one more week to go, and then we will be having a discussion next Saturday with Johnny Wirtz for the book. So we'll be discussing that book. We will be taking a break, and then we'll be coming back on May 14th to start the second book. We will be discussing 4 chapters at a time every other week. I think we had this pace. We had to speed it up a little bit to make it to the meetup with Jenny. But the second book, we're going to take a little bit of a slower pace. So anyone wanting to join, go check out our forums and sign up for that. There's plenty of room. I'd love to have you if you'd like to join us. I also finished The Great Ordeal. I read that one on the flight back from Virginia, and wow, what a finish. I am reading this with Daniel and Katerina, and I think this may be my favorite of the series, of The Prince of Nothing and of The Aspect Emperor. Wow. so many things happening. I don't know. It's wild. I don't want to say too much to spoil it for anyone, but what a series. Just when you think it can't get any worse or any bleaker, it gets worse. But so we are discussing, we did record the last episode for The Great Ordeal. That's posted. We did take this weekend off, but we will be back next week to start recording again. So you won't see an update from us for about a week. So this coming Friday, there will be no video from us, no podcast. For that series, we're taking a week off for the holiday. A couple of people were traveling, so taking the weekend off. But we will be back, and we have one more book to go. So excited to see what happens with that series. It's a hell of a series. It's a lot of fun. I did finish that. I've also been reading, or I started Tiamat's Wrath. It's I forget which book. It's one of almost the end of the Expanse series. So listening to that one, and yeah, this series has really been hit or miss for me. It's been either enjoyable. It's not a very heavy series. There's not a ton to kind of chew on all the time. There have been moments where there's political intrigue or there's like these broader themes that are brought up, but for the most part, it's kind of like a popcorn series. It's kind of like I don't want to say like a comfort read, but it's like an easy. It's not too dense. It's not too. There's not too many things going on. It's kind of more of like it's like a popcorn series. It's kind of light, which isn't bad. It's just some of it has been not so enjoyable for me, but it's been fine. It's been okay. It hasn't been bad, but it's been really either good or It's kind of where it's been for me this series, but we'll see what happens with this next book. I think we have 2 more to go. One more after this one. So I'm also listening to A Storm of Swords. It's the 3rd book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. So anxious to see where that goes. I think the first 2 books have been pretty predictable for me because it's been pretty close to the series. But from what I hear, the 3rd book starts to deviate, and there's more going on. So I'm looking forward to seeing what direction that one goes in. And of course, I'm also reading Berserk. We're discussing a volume at a time every Sunday. That's been a nice break from all the other reads that I've had. So it's been fun to get in, and it's an easy, quick volume every week. It's kind of nice to break things up a bit. There's lots of other books I have that I want to get to, lots of arcs that I'm excited to get to. I just finding the time is the hardest part. And on the channel this week, we did not have reading sprints or a weekly update last week, because of my trip to Virginia. But we did have the Friday conversation with Colin from Colin's Corner, Dan from the Black and Blue Collar Reader, and Epic from Epic Tales. So we did have a fun-filled discussion as always on Fridays. It's a nice break. It's a nice easygoing conversation that always seems to flow really well. So thanks to all of you who watch, who comment, whether in the comments or in the chat during the live stream. It means a lot. It keeps us going. So thank you for doing that. And of course, all the long form content I do is available on the podcast. So check that out if you would rather listen than watch. I also started posting the interviews from AuthorCon. They're short. I think they're right around 5 to 10 minutes each. So I'm posting those every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for the foreseeable future. I haven't even edited all of them yet. There's quite a few. So thanks to all of you who have been watching those. Anxious to share those. I think this is a better way to share them than a big, long, like 2-hour video, just kind of like bite-sized interviews every day. Won't take up too much time. The only thing I don't like about, and this is back end stuff, YouTube stuff, but the only thing I don't like about the shorter videos is it gives me less control over whether to monetize the video or not. If a video isn't 10 minutes or more, then I have little control over where the ads are. I always try to remove the ads at the beginning, and I always add them at the end, so you don't have to watch them if you don't want to. But this way, YouTube forces you to have an ad at the beginning, which kind of sucks. It's a little irritating. So those of you who have noticed that, it's because I can't turn them off like I normally do. And this week on the channel, we will be back to Tuesday reading sprints. Anxious to go back and to see all of you and get some reading done and read the next story in the Paper Menagerie. Looking forward to that. Also this week, I did record a video for the top 5 things I've learned or I want to share after 2.5 years on BookTube or YouTube. I guess, same thing, I guess, kind of. So those of you, I think, those of you who are thinking about starting a channel or new to BookTuber and just want to watch, I try to share the top 5 things I've learned. I did get a little bit ranty on one of them. So yeah, something that kind of bothers me. I did rant a little bit, but not too bad. That'll post on a Wednesday morning. Like I said, the author interviews will keep posting from AuthorCon. The Friday conversation, we don't have guests lined up just yet, but we will have those confirmed hopefully soon. Next Saturday, we do have the Curse of the Mistwraith discussion, and also I will have the next episode of Steve Talks 2 with my friends Nicole Eisner and Beverly Lee. So looking forward to that. Hope you can join us. And also, of course, next Sunday, we will be talking Berserk at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's open to anyone who wants to join. Looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. It was weird not having the regular routine for a week, but we're back to lots of streams and lots of things going on. So happy to be back in the swing of things. Also, for those of you who follow Steve Talks Movies, I do have the 24A24 videos schedule, a tentative schedule right now. I'm working on getting that hammered down, and then I will have that schedule posted over there on my other channel, those of you who are interested in joining. So my question this week, I actually have 2 questions because we were gone a week. The first question is, I'm curious to hear how you feel about technology and the role that it plays in our lives. And to give a bit some context, the reason I'm asking this question is because during my trip to Virginia, I noticed that almost everything is on your phone. And some of you are saying, of course it is, right? The reason I bring it up is because I used to do a lot of business travel. I used to travel, this is, 10 years ago maybe. I used to travel for about 13 years. I did business travel every other week. I was gone about a week, every other week, give or take, but I flew a lot. And back then, if I forgot my phone, I would have my laptop. It would be an inconvenience, but I would be able to kind of get by without it. I'd be able to kind of, I'd manage. But I noticed that now everything is on your phone. That includes your boarding passes, your transportation like Uber, your everything is on your phone. I mean, your identification in some cases, reservations, your QR codes for things. I mean, without a phone now, it would be a major pain in the ass to do anything. Whereas, even just 10 years ago, it would be you'd manage. But now it's just everything is just on one device. And some of you may say, well, yeah, it's nice having everything on one device. Everything's here on this thing. But is that necessarily a good thing? Is it a good thing that everything is on one device? That if you lose this one device, then what? Then what do you do? Is it bad to have everything wrapped up into one device? Is that, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you all think. Not only having everything on one device, but is it a good thing to have everything on digital? It's more convenient, don't get me wrong. I mean, I thought this is kind of nice. When I flew back, I didn't have to deal with a lot of paperwork. I just had it all on my phone, and you scan your codes and you're done. So in that sense, it's convenient, but at what price is that convenience? Kind of the bigger picture thing. So I'm curious to hear how you feel about that. If it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. If I'm just yelling at the kids to get off the lawn, what is it? What do you think? How do you feel about that? The second question is came from a conversation we had in Virginia with Christina from Northwest Reader. We were a bunch of us were hanging out, and we started talking about weird things in movies that are in the background that we didn't really know about. Well, I never knew this, but in the movie Teen Wolf from the 1984, 85, forget the year. Anyway, a movie that I've seen, I don't know how many times. I mean, I used to watch it a lot. But at the end, the final sequence, the game that they play, and spoiler for a 40-year-old movie here, but there's a game that they play at the end, and in the crowd, there's a person in the crowd that is exposing himself to the camera. And I never knew this. I didn't know that it even existed. All these years, I never noticed it. And it's hard to see, but it's there. So I'm curious, what things in movies have you noticed that you like? There's other things in movies that are in the background that not everyone knows about. Share the things in movies that you've noticed down below. Let me know if some of the ones that you've noticed over the years and you'd like to share. I think it'd be fun to have like a compilation of all these strange things in backgrounds, like in the movie Three Men and a Baby. There's I guess it's like a cardboard cutout in the window. Looks like a little kid in one of the windows when they're walking by. And for a long time, people said it was a ghost or something, and it ended up being like a cardboard cutout. Or in the movie in the Wizard of Oz, there's like a bird in the background, and it looks like somebody's hanging from a noose. Things like that. Things in the background for movies that you have noticed over the years. So enough about me. How are you doing? What are you reading, watching, or listening to? I'd love to hear about it. I always find great recommendations from all of you. So share them down below, how you're doing. The weather here has been warming up, and my window is open. You might hear some birds chirping outside. Sorry about that. It just sounds pleasant. With the weather warming up, I did get some yard stuff done yesterday on Saturday. It's been a while. I've been putting a lot of things off, but it was nice to get back out there. There were some things on our pergola that there's like a sunshade that was blown off with the wind. I had to get up there and fix it. Odds and ends stuff, fixing things around the house that I haven't done. I've been putting it off. So it was nice to get back out there, enjoy the sunlight, and just get things done. It was nice just to get some air and get some stuff done. It's a certain satisfaction you get from getting things around the house done that you've been putting off for a while. It's been nice to, you kind of see things that aren't done around, and you kind of, well, I'll do it later. And then, before you know it, weeks or months pass, and you're like, I really have to get that done. So it's nice. There's a certain satisfaction you get from getting those things wrapped up finally. So how are you doing? I'd love to hear about it. Is the weather near you warming up? Is it still cold? Are you enjoying the warmer weather if it is getting warmer where you are? So I'd love to hear how you're doing, what you think about technology in our lives, how you feel about, or what you other things in movies that you've noticed in the background that not everyone knows about, like hidden things. I'd love to hear about them. Be nice to have a list. I think that'd be fun to have a list of things like that. So until next time, like I said, you can find me on the forum, pagestream.com. You can find me at Steve Talks Movies or over on Vero. So until then, until next time, we will talk to you soon.